guys, what's up? Security cam time. Alright, so Nooie Technologies got a hold of me, asked me if I wanted to check out their security cam this time. I've done a lot of their smart tech, a lot of stuff for teching as well, and hey, now we're up to the security cameras. So let's take a look and see what we get inside. This is supposed to have night vision, put up to 50 feet, 49, 50 feet, and it's supposed to make things appear like daylight. Well, we're going to put that to the maximum test because, as you guys know, I live in the country, and when the lights are out, honey, it is blacker than tar outside. So we'll see how well it works for the night vision part. Should be interesting. It also has an alarm system in it where you can activate a siren and scare off an intruder. Two-way talking back and forth between you and whoever happens to be at your door or in your view. Okay, it's got a lot of features to it, which is pretty cool. It is USB powered as well. 1080p, waterproof, motion detection as well, the two-way audio like I said. You can store your video coverage to the cloud or locally in the camera. And I'm actually going to do it locally in the camera because I hate the cloud. And of course, like I said, it does have night vision. So anyways, these things are on Amazon, and current prices, and I don't like talking about prices because they do change. It could be a sale, but currently it's about 80 bucks for this thing. And which is, I think, if it works good, it definitely would be worth the money, but we're going to find out if it's going to work good. So this is going to be a bit of a different kind of a video, because right now it's broad daylight, so it's going to be a little bit of cut scenes here and there, and then we'll do this thing tonight, see what it's like at night. We'll give you some daytime stuff in the house here first, and show you what things appear to be. But it should be interesting for our night test, and then of course we'll tell you what we think of it. Now, like anything else for smart tech, this thing also has an app, which is separate from your other Nooie software for your other smart tech in the house that you may have already. It is for the Nooie Cam, so you will have to register that, create a password account, that sort of deal, right? So not a big deal. It's an easy setup. It's step by step. Anybody can do that. And right now I'm at this portion of the screen, which is kind of like waiting for me. So let's see what else we got here. Now, being that you can mount this thing outside because it's indoor-outdoor, brand new. There's supposed to be about 12 sensors on this thing, they say. That's also a sticker. Carefully get at that. There we go. And that exposes our lens. Anyways, it's the USB part. You're going to have a power source outside to be able to actually power the camera, or figure out a way to fish it in. Like normally you put a security camera at your door, like if you have like a deck over top or a roofing over top of your doorway, you put it there, or on the sidewall. Either way, you're going to need a way to plug the thing in. Now I think security camera would be kind of useless if you're plugging it in outside, because somebody could just come along and unplug it on you. So you have to definitely route it into the indoor somehow, or even mount it in the house out of a window that's going to give you the view that you need, and then keep it all in the house. Of course, that's not going to scare the daylights out of an outside intruder when the alarm goes off, because I don't think it's going to be that loud, but we're going to find out, that's for sure. So we do have our power source for this thing, and it looks like we've got a pretty long cable here. Whew. That's got a bit of length to her, so it'll definitely be alright to have a little bit of fun. Okay, so we have... Okay, so this is just our up and down. This goes into a plate. Okay. Well, this is amusing already. Maybe it's in here. Looks like we got something else in the box. Aha! I was scared for a second. I'm like, there should be a mounting plate. And of course, yes there is. So we do have our mounting plate. It's got a little brass button here. So that, I imagine, is going to kind of line up like so. Yeah, I know, I should probably read the instructions, eh guys? But you know what, this stuff is usually not that difficult. Well, they made it a good flush mount system, that's for sure. Okay, so we are not going to install the mounting plate right now, but we know that it does go in that way. So you've got a couple of little countersink holes here, so obviously that's going to go to wherever you're screwing it onto. So the plate faces out, the little pin will face this way, and you want to have this lined up so as to be able to get at the camera properly and be able to tilt it. So I'm going to go with either set it up with the pin going to your right. Yeah, I'd say the pin to your right, because then it would allow you to get access to the camera. Whichever way you do it, it's got to be set up so that when the lock pin goes in and you click and it locks in place, the camera has the opportunity to point down. Now, funny thing is, on the website it actually showed that this thing was like movable in other directions, so, and yep, it is. It's going to swivel in there, so it actually really doesn't matter how precise you are, because it's still going to spin freely. So you're okay, you're good to go. Now, the one thing I'm curious about too is if this thing is going to work off of a 12,000 milliamp power supply, which we're going to find that out. But for now, we're going to plug this thing in to the wall socket. And fire it up just as is. And we need to get this thing to install. So, we have an inbox here, system messages. Don't need to worry about that. Alright, so app settings. Okay, we're all right there. And camera. Now this is our 1080. So we have a choice between different cameras on here. Okay, we've got the Nooie 720, the 1080. This is the 1080, the Nooie Cam 360, or the straight out Nooie Cam. Okay, now this is the 1080. So we need to go and we need to select 1080 from the list. Please make sure that your camera is powered on and within Wi-Fi range. Yes, it is. Please wait approximately 15 seconds until the indicator light flashes red. And yes, it's flashing red. So now I've got to put in a network password, which I need my book for. And I'm going to sneak away from the screen because I don't want you guys seeing my password, of course. So I will just go over here with that. Okay. Place the QR code in front of your camera 8 to 10 inches to enlarge image. Ah. Okay. Well, we're about 8 to 10 inches. Still blinking red. It's supposed to blink white before we can go to the next stage. It's got a big picture of a QR code on the screen here. This is an interesting process. Can we please take a nap? No. Oh, wait a minute. I know what they... Maybe this is what they meant. Ah. Alright. Okay. First timer. And it's blinking white. So, you get this image. Hey, come on. It's alright, guys. You'd screw it up, too. So, you get this big image and it says, you know, place the QR code, maybe 10 inches in front of your camera. So you figure, well, there's a QR code here, right? That's not what they mean. That's, you got to get the camera to read that code. Yeah, I get it, I get it. Says it's pairing, please wait. By the way, if you fail this attempt, you got to do this again. Which means you're going to need your network password for your router again, more than likely. Oh, it says connected. Wow, that was like way too easy. I'm already impressed. Name your camera. Front door, living room, office, baby room. Don't have any of those kids around anymore.
Joe.
Yeah.
Name it Joe.
Kitchen, garage. Custom name. How about we just call it front door? I don't care. Nooie would like to access your microphone. Sure, why not? Oh, now checky that. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so before I go too far, my wife's gonna kill me if this works. No! It says siren. I was trying to push on the siren to scare her, but it didn't work. So anyway, so we do have a picture here. I don't know how well you guys are going to see that. There we go. Give you some bright light. There you go, bright light. So the camera is definitely functional. So we definitely got a functional device. I wonder why that's so dim though. Anyway, well, maybe it's part of the setup still. Okay, so next. Video history playback bar, don't need to worry about that. And done. Ah! Oh! New version for this version will support Google Home. Disable FTP, improve security. Okay, so it's got a firmware update. It takes about 5 minutes to complete the firmware update. After the update is complete, please perform a factory reset in order for the new features to take effect. Well, I got 5 minutes to read up on how to do that. Okay, so we have 5 minutes to kill. I'm shutting the camera off. We'll be back when it's time for the next step. Interesting. Well, I think I see me. I see me. I don't know. I guess I see me. Alright, so it took a little more than 5 minutes for the firmware update. And that's probably due to our internet connection with the entire world in upheaval right now, of course. Everybody's on the web, and we have a Rogers Rocket Hub living out in the country, which is normally like 5 times faster or more than what it is right now. So yeah, everybody's on the net, really slows everybody down. But we've done the firmware update. Now, they tell you to reset this thing, and it was kind of like, well, that's kind of interesting, like, how do we reset the camera? So, we go and we look at the little diagram here, and that is for resetting the button, reset button. So, you read the instructions, it really does help. Micro SD card. I've already taken the cap off and put a card in here already. It's an 8 gig card, so we'll see what kind of record time we get out of this thing. So I'm going to try some recording tonight. It'll be part of the review when we go through it, because this is like basically unboxed little setup and demo thing, and you know, we'll see what happens. But anyways, they do give you quite the variety of screws in the mounting kit here, and I've got a board I'm actually going to mount this thing on. I'm not going to affix the thing to the house, but I've got other plans for this camera for what I want to use it for. But generally you use it indoors or outdoors for security for your home. I've got other things in mind, like I said. Now, here's a few neat little things. Communicating, of course, back and forth between the camera and your device, be it a phone or a tablet. the faster your internet connection is, the less lag and delay there is between you and the other person talking, if you're talking to somebody outside your door, for example, okay? Because we're so laggy right now, it's not even worth doing it, so it's kind of like, man, this really sucks. But it is very laggy right now, like I said, because of our net. The alarm is funny. Now this is, they need to do a better job on the alarm. Nooie, you guys got to do a better job on this, because this wouldn't even scare me. It's also not all that loud either. Now I can talk over top of this. It's really not going to bother me. I mean, it might spook maybe one or two, maybe even a half a dozen criminals on the planet, but otherwise, that ain't going to bother me. Other than the fact that it might actually work as a bit of a deterrent because they're not expecting that to go off, so they obviously know something's been set off. But anyway, so you do have one touch for taking pictures, and of course activating your record, you just press the record button. Now right now, of course, I have to go into the settings, so you'll see a little octagon menu here. Push on that. You get a bunch of choices. Auto recording, which is set, or audio recording, sorry, is already set for on. Status light, of course, because we want to know that there's power going there. Rotating the image. Now we can rotate the image. Night vision, I have it set for automatic, or you can just leave it off and not use the night vision. Synchronizing time, it's synchronized. Motion detection, you got to click on that. Motion detected is turned off. If you turn it on, then of course it'll automatically record and turn on when it detects motion. Well, you can have it on or not have it on. It's kind of up to you, right? Sound detection. Right now it is actually set to on. Sensitivity is set to high. There's a schedule on here as well. I don't want sound detection. I don't care, so I'm turning that off. Storage. Okay, now this is where you have choices of storage here. You're going to have the cloud, of course, which I don't want. I hate the cloud. But I do have an 8 gig card that I threw in here. And I have the option to format the SD because it's not formatted for the camera. So we'll hit format and we'll hit confirm because it's going to wipe it. Yes, I'm sure. And it's now starting the format process right here. And that's going to take however long it takes to format for its formatting routine. So I think you can see that on camera there. So as we're waiting for that to format, because we can't disrupt that now, when the update is done, you actually need to reset the camera. And to do that, you have to take this cap off. And there's this little, kind of like a buttonish thing with a little bar on either side just below the SD card. You just push and hold on that for a few seconds and it'll make a little chimey sound. Then you can let go and it resets the camera. Then of course you'll have to you won't have to re-sign into the program or anything, but you'll have to rebind the camera to the program because of course everything's now new, right? So, and then once you're done all that stuff, you can actually put your cap back on. Now you are going to need a jeweler's screwdriver that's a Phillips head in order to get access to these little tiny screws. And the screws won't come out of the cap. They're secure in there, so you won't lose any screws, which was a really good idea. And you just snug them up a little bit. That's it. You don't have to reef on them. You do have a speaker here as well. Now, this plate, of course, further reading, it is marked top and bottom. Okay, well, it's actually just marked top. So you mount it this way onto whatever surface, and then you can just twist, lock in place. If you want to unlock it, you're going to need something like a jeweler's screwdriver to pop in on the spring pin, and then you can kind of like finagle, twist, and lock and pull your camera off the mounting plate if you ever need to do that. Okay. Like I said, they do give you a pile of mounting hardware. So for indoor use, you know, if you're going to go into drywall, they give you drywall acres, and of course they give you the appropriate screws. You actually, surprisingly enough, you only need 2 screws for this, but they give you 4 acres, I guess in case you bugger one up, and you get 4 screws, which I don't think you'd ever bugger up a screw. They're not, you know, they're not that bad a quality screw. They're actually pretty good, but you do have to have a proper fitting screwdriver for these, and these are all Phillips head. Okay, and of course they give you 4 shallow screws if you want to just go straight into wood or into metal, you could do that. And of course you have these little hammer-in anchors to route your cable. Okay, like I said, I mean, realistically, if you're going to mount this thing outdoors for security purpose, you're going to want to make sure that the power plug for this, wherever you plug it into in the end, because you're going to need an extension cord. You don't want to fish the wire so that somebody could easily cut the wire or unplug it on you. Okay, so you're going to have to get creative that way yourself. Okay, but nonetheless, you're going to have to do that. All right. Now we are going to do a test in a second here. So okay, now this is set for loop recording, so it'll just continue loop over, but we're not going to go with loop recording, so we'll shut that feature off. Now, the one thing I'm curious about on this thing is actually, it tells you camera information too, by the way, all the info for the camera. I'm curious to see if this thing would actually run off of a USB charge bank, okay? Because it's the same voltage going in, and I have 2 sockets that will provide me either 2 amp or 3 amp. It doesn't really matter which one I go into. They're both output ports. So, with that being said, we know that the camera works. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Now, is it going to work off of power charge bank? Because that's my big thing. If it does, that'll make it awesome for some other things. Okay, so it's already auto turned on the power to my charge bank. We have power going to the camera. And relaunch the program. We do have a solid red light. It's flashing white. It's flashing really fast white. So, boot signal. Interesting. Okay, we got a solid white. Okay, solid white, flashing white. The device is working properly if it's steady white. Okay, so we should be able to just back out of here. Nope. Recycle button, nope. NAP. Next. I think we're going to have to start over from scratch once again. Amazing what you learn when you just play around with stuff. Okay, push and hold. Fire up the program when we're waiting. Okay, that is now reset. Camera, 1080p. Solid red, we need a flashing red. Flashing red. Next. It's going to bring up that barcode thing again. Okay. And boom, and next. And it's going to have to bind again. So, every time you chop the power, this is what's going to happen. Now, this has a drawback in a power outage situation, which is another reason why I wanted to find out how well it would work off my power block here, because it gives me 100% wireless anywhere I want to use this. Come on. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Done. Done. And we are running off of a battery pack. Check that out. That's pretty sick. Proper orientation, please. I'm getting dizzy! Okay, so confirmation does exist. Get off of here. As you guys can see, it's running off of my Powerade charge bank. And this is a 12,000 milliamp bank, so I can always keep an eye on this from the lights. And once I'm down to the last light, I don't even have to disrupt the camera power. I can just plug my charge cable into here and have it charge and run my item at the same time, which is cool. Alright, and I've done that before on like phones and stuff, right? It slows down the charge process of your phone, but we're not charging, we're powering a device, so it's still going to slow down the recharge cycle, but at least in the event of a power failure, I would still have this thing running, because this should run for an easy couple of days or more, you know, depending on how I have things set up. So, but anyways, let's try that alarm again. Yep, that's working good. Alright. What else we got? Oh yes, I'm going to see, I don't know what our internet connection is going to do, but hello, 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 what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Okay, hold my iPad near the camera. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? So the lag isn't too bad. So the lag isn't too bad right now. So I guess our internet's speeding up a little bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. So the two-way communication thing is kind of interesting. To hear sound, like you could have it muted, but if you want to hear some sound outside of what might be going on, you just unmute it and it automatically puts through. If you want to talk to the other person, you got to press this once, and it'll start to give like this little blue halo, and then you can hear here. Now that should be loud enough. That doesn't really raise the volume any. Okay, so we'll stop that. And of course, one touch picture, one touch to start, just recording type of thing. You can just let it straight out record. They don't have a volume level on this for the speaker. It's sound detected, so that's automatically. It'll trigger alerts. Like I said, we're going to test the night vision thing tonight. You know, I think we're going to do the review as part of this too, because all we got left to do is test the night vision thing. We're testing the power supply now on the power pack. I'm also going to leave it on all day for the rest of the day. It's about 5:47 now. It should be dark enough about 10 o'clock tonight. We'll come back, shoot some more of the video. I'll have the camera already set up outside, and we'll set this up in here. I'll get my wife to walk around the yard. And we'll see too, because this thing says and claims that it has enough with the sensors to give you the appearance of daylight outside at night. So, like I said, this is the country. It gets blacker and black out here. So that should be interesting for tonight. Anyways, other than that, so far it's pretty cool. So when you first fire up the camera, obviously it's going to hit you with that firmware update. Let it do its thing. Don't touch nothing. Don't mess with your device. Otherwise, just leave the screen open and let it do its thing. It'll tell you when it's done. Don't worry. When it's finished, then you have... What I did was I actually unplugged the camera, plugged it back in, and then I pressed and held on the reset button until you hear that chime sound. And then once that happens, let go, and then you just rebind the camera. It's not a big chore to do, guys. Okay, it really honestly isn't. So, that actually goes, see there's a little detent in there, so you can kind of figure out which way it came out of there. But the thing is supposed to be waterproof and all that, so it's all weather, you know, for summertime or cold, and you know, we're definitely going to have some fun with this camera, I'll tell you that. It's going to be a hoot. Anyway, so we'll come back tonight. So it's instant for you, so don't go away, guys. And we will definitely catch you outdoors tonight in the wild of the dark and see how this thing actually puts out. Because I still got to go mount it on a board right now. So, instant for you. Alright, we're back and we're doing the night vision thing. And oh my gosh, guys. I am really thoroughly impressed. That is sick. It actually does really good. Okay, Sue, go outside and walk across the path of that camera. If you can tell in the background there, right about there is actually my shooting stand that I use for target shooting.
Where did you put it? I can't see it in the dark.
You don't need to worry about where the camera is, just go outside.
I know where.
Oh, just walk in the yard. Go to your left. Okay, you can stop right there. Let's turn the sound on. Talk to us. Talk to us, Sue. Talk to us. Okay, walk backwards. So she can hear us. Okay, so I'm going to take you guys outside here. And we'll take the iPad with us. And this is going to be interesting to get outside now. Oh. Hang on, guys. Okay. So you can see it is dark out here.
Oh yeah, it's dark.
Okay, so right over in here, this is our window. Now you can see there's light coming from our window there. I'm going to go shut off the lights. Okay, so there you go, guys. That is really impressive.
That is really clear for...
Yeah, like I don't know what you guys are seeing in the camera here, but what I'm seeing in my iPad, I can see exactly who she is, no problems at all. Move back a little bit, Sue, just so I can get more of your face. Okay, whoa. Okay, that's pretty good there. So yeah, that's crazy, guys. Like, I've got the camera, like, I'll show you the light.
Just
see the little lights
red,
there?
Red.
You can see the infrared lights lighting up. And of course yeah, you can see where I'm standing. Okay, so that's insane. Yeah, kudos, man. Kudos to Nooie. I mean, this is just...
How far away am I?
That is so impressive. You're only about...
6, 7 feet?
Yeah, about 6, 7 feet, yeah. You're no more than 8 feet away. But yeah, guys, that's pretty impressive. Like, you can... I can see her clear as day, literally. You know? Go walk over... come with me. So now you can see both of us here in the frame. And I mean, I can see my shooting bench clear as day pretty well. Like, that's just so impressive. I can't even see where I'm walking back here, but... Okay, now you'll see I'm right at the shooting bench. Here, I'll just put the camera on here. Yeah. So I'm sitting on my shooting bench now. And from there to there, that's a little over 35 feet.
Yeah.
You know, so that's incredible. That is so cool. Wow, you can even see the flies flying past the screen. That is, and it lights it up like such bright day, like almost like they say, it's like daylight, because it's really bright down below here, guys. Like down below, that's bright, as if there was a light there, and really there isn't.
And we got the date and time up here.
Yeah, date and time is all up here too.
So you can document
Yeah.
who was there when. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is definitely
awesome.
That is a win. That is a severe win.
Because you can barely see it over there.
Well, yeah, you can't even really tell. You just see the two lights from my charger pack, and I am still running it off the charger pack too. So that is pretty cool. Yeah, the top light you see in the camera, that's my charger pack, and then the bottom is the little light from the camera itself. But then, like I said, you get up really close here, and you can see the infrared sensors that are on. They look kind of like bluish white in the camera, but they're actually red when you're looking at them with your naked eye. Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna shut the camera off. I'm gonna go back in the house and turn it back on, and we'll finish this up. Okay, guys, so we're gonna finish this up, and I'm gonna go set it up the way I want to set it up for some fun. Anyways, I am thoroughly impressed with this camera. I mean, during, like, inside here, like, during the day, it's fine. It's great. At night, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, wow, like, I can really see the detail even on my stand from here. I mean, and that's, like, over 30 feet away. And that's, like, wow. And it's like it's lighting up the bush. Like, this light that's going on here, that's crazy, right? You know? It's like, that is really, really cool. Anyways, I'm going to give this thing a total win. Now, there are some side effects, okay? And this is something you got to deal with. Now, the instructions are clear. I didn't read the instructions, as you guys know, but I did end up reading them eventually, because I had to figure out how to reset the thing. Now, we just actually got back from dinner, by the way. We've been gone for a few hours. I left the camera going on that charge pack. Now, I think what I need is a different kind of a charge pack, obviously, that just can't shut off unless I tell it to. So it did shut down the camera. Now, so every time you lose power to the camera, what's going to happen is you're going to have to reset the camera. Now, you won't have to re-sign into all your stuff again, which is fine. But it doesn't want to auto-log the camera back on in a power restoration. So you got to take that little cover cap off the back and press and hold the reset button and basically rebind it to the laptop with that QR code that's going to show up, you know. That is one thing that I think what would be a good improvement for this camera would be a small internal backup battery, or even a backup battery that you yourself could install that would at least hold its settings in the event of a power fail for, you know, up to several hours. You know, that would be something that would be a handy thing to have as an improvement. Because if you're going to use this as a home security thing and you're going out of town for a week or 2 weeks, yeah, you can keep an eye on the house from home too, which would be, or keep an eye on the house when you're away on your iPad or your phone or whatever. But you won't be able to reset the camera if you have a power failure when you're away. So when your cameras go down, that's it. You know, it's like you have to manually reset these things. That is a bit of a side effect to the technology, okay? That's why I'm suggesting they need to make a small improvement, have some kind of a replaceable battery or an internal battery that can be replaced that will give it its own backup power source for up to a couple of hours to at least get you that until power should be restored in the house, and then it takes over and it recharges that battery to top it back up automatically. That's something that could be improved drastically in that thing, okay? Otherwise, it is a win. I think in all other aspects, I think it's a win. The alarm is kind of stupid, you know, so that's kind of like a minor flaw. I think they need more like a real siren type of sound, which I'm sure they could do easily enough, and make it like, you know, something like about 160 decibels or something to make the person deaf. You know, that would definitely deter a thief, because that probably wouldn't, what we've already witnessed. But other than those two things, I think that's pretty much about where I would say there's negatives. I like the fact that you could either record to the cloud or to an SD card. Either one is fine, you know, which is good. I'm going to go with the card thing. I feel that as far as a star review would go on this thing, because there is no backup system, that is a bit of a ding, okay? It does need to have some kind of a battery backup system so that it could keep going in the event of a power failure, okay? At least for a couple of hours worth, you know, and it wouldn't take much. A little 3.7 volt lithium ion battery or lipo battery, you know, somewhere around even, I'm sure they could have the room to jam at least an 800 milliamp in there. That should easily run the camera in, say, even a low power mode for at least up to 8 hours or more, you know, maybe even more, because it is like basically some LED technology, so it should even be able to run even longer, maybe even a whole day, who knows. But that's a biggie in my books. It has to have a source for that, because every time you unplug it, you have to rebind it. That should not have to be done, okay? Especially if you're going to install these things outdoors, you don't want to have to crawl up on a ladder each time somehow the power got disrupted, take off the little cap and then reset and have your tablet or your phone with you and rebind with the QR code thing and all. That's a real bit of a drag. So my final review on this is going to be 3 3/4 stars. Okay, that is the best I can honestly, absolutely give it. It does have a lot of exciting things, a lot of really kick butt things. I mean, seriously, for something with night vision, that is the best I've seen. Like, that is really good. Okay, and I've heard a lot of claims about night vision on cameras and stuff, and I've seen a lot of them that really sucked. This is exciting. This is like really good and good detail in that 1080p. But that's where I'm at, you know. If they did the improvements with a new model release, then I would say awesome. I'll try that one out if they do that. And if that works out to be a big benefit, then great. Then at that time I would move the next level version up to a much higher star rating. This one I would still say yes, it is worthwhile buying it. I'm not sure as far as, excuse me, sorry guys, it's a long day, I'm trying not to yawn. It's currently selling for $80 Canadian. I think, to be honest, given the fact that, yeah, it's got a siren in it, who cares? Alright, but, I mean, I personally don't. But if you're going to put in a siren, make it worthwhile. The big thing about the backup system for the battery, that's a huge one for me. As far as, you know, they're supplying the capability. As far as everything else goes, because there is no backup for the power source, if you have a power outage and you're out of town, this could be a problem because you won't be able to reset the system. Okay, and if there's nobody here to reset it for you, that's also going to be a problem, right? So this is why you need a backup supply system so that the camera does not get interrupted at all, okay? That's where I leave it set up as a motion sensor system so that, you know, only motion would set it off, and that would give a backup power supply days upon days of use as opposed to several hours if you did it that way. So I would say, as far as price goes, I would probably say it's more fair to say that I think viably it's worth probably about $65 to me as it presently sits. If they upgraded it, put in a battery backup system for the camera to keep that camera running, even in the event of a power failure, then I would say $80, $95 tops, okay, all day long. And I wouldn't really care if they improve the siren or not, but they probably should, because they're including a siren that they're saying is for deterring somebody. That's not going to deter, realistically, anybody. You and I both know that, okay? That is not even very loud. The other thing I would like to see improved, which is just a little minor tidbit, but it has nothing to do with the star rating, I would like to see access to a volume control level on the camera so that the person I am talking to could properly hear me, you know, type of thing. That would be a big thing. And I would like to have a level control in the software so I could jack up the level more so. But I think part of that's going to be not a big thing there, because the closer they are to the camera, they're going to, you got to keep your volume jacked up on your iPad. But for me talking on my iPad to somebody outside, they need to hear me. There needs to be a volume control definitely on that, even if it's software controlled from this end to push the volume out louder over there. That I think would be a big, big help. Okay, so there's kind of where I'm at with it. Otherwise, great camera, loving it. I think it's awesome. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it for what I want to use it for my own kind of stupid, fun stuff. I have a few things in mind for some future videos that are going to include this camera. But yeah, good instructions and everything. By the way, they did give you Nooie stickers. These just peel and stick off, I guess, for security kind of thing. I don't know. Live style with ease, Nooie.com. I don't know. You can paste them on your fridge if you want, whatever. But they give you a couple of stickers there. But do check the link in the description below for the Amazon.ca link. So if you do want to buy this camera and you are willing to pay the $79, then I would say, yeah, okay, give her. I mean, all in all, realistically, it is a really good system. And if I find a better battery power source for it that doesn't shut down on me, because it's not the camera that's the problem, it's my battery source thing. It's going to shut down after an extended time. I guess it's the way it's draining. I have no idea, because I'm trying to use it as a power supply, not as a charger. So that's probably why it turned off on me while I was away for 2 hours. So I don't know how long that took before it did that. But if I could find just a better battery system that's like 12 or 18,000 milliamp, running it off a battery supply that I could easily recharge conveniently, that'd be like the best way to go, and then you never have to worry about power interruptions at all. Which is another reason why I wanted to try it on the charge bank, to see if it would actually power the camera properly. Because I have a 2 amp and a 3 amp port on that thing, and originally it was plugged into the other one, so I had shifted it to the other one. So we'll see how long that port actually runs. Maybe one does run indefinitely where the other one has a timer. I don't know. I don't even use that charge bank that much, and I've had it for the last few years. And it's made by Powerade, so check out Powerade, I think it is, Powerade. So check out Powerade in my search engine on my channel, and you'll find out about where I got it from and that stuff. And you can check out their products. That was one that was sent to me by a company to check out for them too, and I've had it for a couple of years now. And it's been serving me well. I've used it a number of times, but I don't use it all the time. But thank you so much, by the way, Nooie, for sending me this. And I hope I wasn't too hard on you guys. But, you got a few things to fix in this camera for sure that I would like to see done to make it better and more viable. But otherwise, the rest of it is really awesome. And the night vision, that is like spot on. Like, I still cannot get over the clarity of that. And how bright it looks like my porch light's on, and it's not, and it's like, that is wild. And the distance it's getting, I just screwed the mount onto a board and put it on a board, and it's like, this is crazy, and it's like, wow, and the clarity of that, like, I could see animals walking across the yard if they were walking across the yard, and that's awesome. So kudos there. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. I'm sorry it took so long, but we had to do a full in-depth video for this, and it is the way it goes when I'm doing product videos in this sort of thing, for sure. But anyways, hope you enjoyed it, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you again, Nooie, for sending me this thing. It is pretty cool, and I'm going to be doing a lot further testing, of course, as well. And if I do warrant a update review, I will do that, but otherwise I'm pretty solid where I am now. But I am going to try a different kind of a power bank. My wife actually has one that I think I can just turn it on and it should stay on. I'll try hers out and see how long it runs and see if it shuts down or not. But anyways, see ya guys! Ciao!